An overview of the First Battle of Bull Run by Axel. The First Battle of Bull Run was actually meant to be very quick and easy. A lot of civilians even attended with picnic supplies in hand. Lincoln drafted around 75,000 men for a short amount of time because of a high probability of quick success. Both sides had very high expectations of themselves. Lincoln ordered General Irving McDowell and his army of 22,000 men to take Richmond. He was being a little cheeky and trying to score some easy brownie points early in the war. Beauregard from the Confederate side had the same idea of taking the capital, but once he found out McDowell was his opponent, he decided against that. The stage was set and the troops were ready. Unfortunately, it turned very bloody, very fast. McDowell started off strong by surprising them from the side, causing Confederate forces to retreat cautiously. Beauregard and his southern forces were on the run for a while. They held their own until they reached Henry Hill. This is where the tides take a hard 180 turn because waiting for them was none other than Thomas Stonewall Jackson, a well-deserved nickname given to him after this battle. Jackson and his troops put the retreat to a hard stop, buying them more than enough time for Confederate troops to arrive. Finally, the Confederates were able to go on the offensive, and McDowell and his men were pushed back to where they came from. Though the Confederates proved victorious over the Union this time, it completely shattered the idea that it was going to be a quick and easy war that both sides expected. Confederate Union forces were both left in awe at the horrors that had occurred. Up to date, it was the bloodiest battle that anyone had ever experienced. To give some point of reference of just how horrible it truly was, I will provide first-hand accounts from both sides taken in the form of letters to home, many of which would be the final word from said soldier. One account from Union soldier Samuel J. English describes the beginning advances and leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. Quote, "From another part of the woods, a perfect hailstorm of bullets, round shots, and shell was poured upon us, tearing through our ranks and scattering death and confusion everywhere." End quote. And this was still while they were in an advantageous position. English goes into many details of the battle, but by the end, it seemed less like a battle for victory and more like a battle for survival. Quote, "Monday noon, more dead than alive. Having been on our feet 36 hours without a mouthful to eat and traveled a distance of 60 miles without 20 minutes halt. The last 5 miles of that march was perfect misery. None of us having scarcely strength to put one foot before the other." End quote. This was merely the beginning of a long and even bloodier war. Accounts from the other side were just as bad. Sergeant Major Philip Powers describes it in this letter to his wife. Quote, "For as I wrote you, we were nearby a hospital of the enemy. There were over 300 of their wounded, dead and dying. Many of them, out of necessity, left out in all the inclemency of the weathers to die. To pass by it was enough to soften and sicken the hardest of heart. I will not dwell upon this awful scene." End quote. This has been an overview of the First Battle of Bull Run by Axel. A special thanks to freesound.org for providing all the awesome sound effects used in this presentation, and another thanks to the Houston Community College Library Databases for providing all my sources. Sources and songs used are as follows.